What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Let's Talk Sports. It's your boy Tony Smith. We'll be joined today by my co-host, the homie Anton York, and also Cover 2 Lou will be joining us. Got a lot to talk.
They itched out a win against Golden State at home. And then what happened in Game 2? The Oklahoma City Thunder came out, and they were who we thought they were, and they got hammered. Yeah. I'm telling you now, just like I told you before the series started, I don't trust them. I mean, you know how I feel about cats that's trying to change their spots. When a leopard trying to change their spots, man, when it comes down to it, you revert to your default. You are who you have always been. They're not going to change who they are and all of a sudden start playing better basketball and closing guys out in the fourth quarter and all of that when we've been watching them blow fourth quarter leads all season. I mean, the San Antonio thing, everybody had blinders on. We wanted San Antonio to win. We wanted San Antonio to go up against Golden State because we wanted to see what Pop had been working on all season long. But the fact of the matter is that San Antonio was old. They looked old. The same thing that I said at the beginning of the season came to pass now about San Antonio. The only question I had was the contrasting style between San Antonio and Golden State. I was like, how are they going to defend Golden State on the perimeter? Okay, fight them in the behind in the series against Oklahoma City. They couldn't defend Westbrook. They couldn't defend Durant out there on the perimeter. And
that's right.
They got beat. So now it's Oklahoma City's turn to get beat.
Hey, man, I see the other 415 number. You online with us too, man. What's up, Cliff?
What's up, Tone? What's up, Cliff? This is Shan Lowe.
Hey, what's up, Shannon?
Oh, we got the encyclopedia in the house.
All right, everything's all good, brothers. Just finally a day off from coaching, so just kick back and relax and talk some good Western Conference basketball with y'all.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, Shan, because you one of the only unbiased Warriors fans in our whole group. I'm going to go take you with this, man. Hey, what's your take from the first game?
All right. I watched the replay of the first game because, I had made the thread while I was in the meeting and everything. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And all that. And so when I watched the game, I noticed it was like the one thing that stood out to me in the first game was the first quarter, the Warriors, while they played, they were scoring, they just did not look crisp. They looked a little ragged. And one of the things that I noticed is the ball movement wasn't there. And also, they was missing a whole lot of easy layups. And they allowed OKC to get a lot of second chance points.
And a lot of.
And then also, the turnovers, they didn't commit a lot of turnovers in the first half. In the second quarter, in the second half, especially the last 3 minutes of the third quarter, they had those back-to-back plays where it was like Draymond and I believe it was Steph and it was someone, I think it was Azili. They all had 3 consecutive turnovers, and to me, that's what really turned the tide in that game. And one of the things about that was it was like the Warriors didn't get to the line, they wasn't aggressive enough, and it's just everything was just flat, and especially in that fourth quarter, they just couldn't hit. Now, with all those missed shots that they had in the first half, and I mean, it was just really easy buckets, easy layups. That halftime lead, I think what was it, like at 13? It could easily been 20.
Right.
But the thing is that it was just one of those games where it was just like Westbrook was just on, taking it to the rack and then going to the line. And it's just that momentum wasn't there in the third quarter. And it trickled down to the fourth quarter. Yesterday's game, it was a lot better energy, a lot better flow, and they played a lot better. And what they did was they controlled the boards better. They did not allow to get the second chance points, and then they made Cantor and Adams irrelevant in the game. And the bench stepped up, and that's what we wanted for them.
Hey, Sammy, I was gonna say too, man. That 1-5 screen in the that shit ain't gonna work, man. I don't know why Billy Donovan keeps switching his centers out there on Steph Curry. Every time that happens, Steph Curry score. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. Every time that happened, that's like go back to what you were saying too. One of those plays in that game too, when Steph had Steven Adams on him, and Draymond Green took the ball and took a three instead of giving it back to him when he had him like wide open on the ISO on that left side. But I felt like it was just like they was kind of forcing too many threes, and that's my main problem with the Warriors for the longest is that this is my biggest problem about any playoff team. If you don't go to the rack, if you don't go to the rack,
but I think one of the things that you're forgetting though, Tone, is that this is how that team is constructed. This is how that team is built. Yeah. They're built to take the jumpers. They're built like who was it? With the old Sacramento Kings that used to pass and settle for a whole lot of jump shots. And that's how the Warriors built. I mean, if you can just go back and look at that game and look at the free throw attempts, look at how many times they actually went to the basket. They weren't doing it. They didn't want to do it. And I think that it actually helps them because that's how they're built. They're playing how they're built. Now, if the jump shot runs out, then it run out. But how many times in a 7-game series are you going to have Steph be off, Clay be off, Draymond be off, and all three of them need to be off for them to lose?
And you know, 102 points.
Yeah. Still put it up.
And then another thing, too, was when I was watching the game, I felt like in Game 1, I felt like Spray should have not been entered in the game in the fourth quarter. I think they should have put him in maybe like middle part of the second half to give him that little spark. I mean, second quarter, I should say, and then that spark in the fourth quarter. Yesterday's game, he was entered in just right. One thing that stood out to me also in Monday night's game was the last free throw shot that the Warriors attempted was at 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And especially in a close game like that, you're not going to win. Yesterday, you know, they balanced it out. Now, we know the Warriors ain't going to go to the rack, 40 times a game. They ain't going to be like, like how I make Lakers. But if you balance it out where you get if you get 16 attempts and you balance it out where you're shooting maybe like 8 of those attempts in the fourth quarter, then you can get that edge.
Yeah, I feel you. It was just like a whole different game yesterday too. I saw on the thread too how he was saying it was just way better ball movement. It wasn't so many forced shots. It was and even like I was saying too, every time I don't know what Billy Donovan think is gonna happen. Switching the center out there on Steph Curry. That's easy money every time. So I'm
it's called abuse.
Maybe try to put Ibaka out there on him. I think that might work a little bit better if you put Ibaka out there where Steven Adams is or a little
bit more range, a little bit more athletic. Yeah, a little bit more athletic. But if you got Cantor out there doing the same thing as Adams is, it ain't gonna work because you saw how many minutes he played last night. Yeah.
They really had that coming to them right there, man. I feel like we kind of knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing though that Golden State wants to do, what Oklahoma City wants to do with Golden State, they want to have size on the floor especially when they go small. But where that backfires is that they don't have the agility, they don't have the lateral quickness in their bigs to play Steph Curry out there. I mean, you don't need to defend him really. You want him to just give up the ball.
Right,
but Steph is trying to drive. He's trying to drive, and at that point, you're stuck. I mean, you gotta trail him all the way to the hole and hope you can get the block, but he's too fast. So I mean, and that's one of the reasons that I'm really interested in seeing the Golden State matchup versus Cleveland. I want to see what happens when they stick Shumpert on Curry. I want to see what happens there.
And that's going to be if that happens, which we lean towards to being happening, it's going to be a real good test to see. And then it's just that Cleveland's going to be way more disciplined on defense than OKC. And when you have someone like Shumpert that, he can, disrupt, Curry's, rhythm, with, being more athletic and being a little bit more skilled than Adams and Cantor. And, that will be a good matchup to check out. One of the things that I noticed is that just the energy level from OKC last night, it just seemed like they just said, all right, we just gonna pack it in, especially in the second half, which it was still second quarter, it was still close, and KD was going, giving them the business. But everyone else was just standing around it's time for us to shoot. And then when they shoot, it seemed like they just froze up. But it's kind of like what Cliff said, is that they revert back to what we know OKC is. It's like that team where it's just two guys, and then you just hope that the other 13 guys just step on up.
Right. Well, yeah, and one of the things that I noticed as well, I noticed that, and that was it seemed like that OKC was disinterested once they weren't getting the early foul calls.
Right.
And then it got even worse in the third quarter. Well, I think I saw Westbrook go to the hole once. He got stripped, and he looked at the ref and he was like, "Really, dude?" He's like, "You're not gonna call that?" And then there was the foul on Steph, by Durant. They did not call, and then it was under the basket. Then Steph got up, went out to the 3-point line, and he shot, and Durant fouled him then. And then he seemed to be upset about it. So we saw those things happen. But from the onset of the game, I was worried about them saying, "Okay, we got our split. Let's get home healthy and take care of business." And what they're not realizing, right? What they're not realizing is that one of two things needs to happen since they got the split. Either they need to hold serve at home, which means they're going to have to beat the Warriors in back-to-back games, which no one has done, or they're going to have to win Game 7 at Oracle.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
so I mean, this game that just happened, Game 2, that was a pivotal game not only for Golden State, but it was for OKC as well. And I think they let one get away.
Because you pick up a good point. When was the last time a road team has won a Game 7? I can't remember.
Yeah, man. It's been
because the edge is always...
It happens very infrequently. It's very infrequent, okay?
Yeah.
But
it's not like best of 5.
Happened a few times, I guess.
But, I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, to try to beat a team, because, like, that road team, the lower seeds always going to have to say, okay, we need to win at least 2 on the road.
Right.
And hopefully we can win either 2, 5, and 7. If you're going to try to go for a split, and that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. It's going to be a tall task.
I feel like OKC got got away with what was. I mean, they got away with what was working in game 1 and game 2 because like I think we all kind of feel like they was happy with the split after they got the first win.
Mm-hmm.
Then you said it was close in the first half, and then Durant scored 6 points in the second half after having 23 in the first. So I mean, it was like we just gonna save our energy and get home and try to win those 2 at home and keep the momentum. But even the 20 what was it 27-point loss? That's not even the worst loss of the playoffs this year. So I mean,
and then another thing too that can play in the psyche is you got a long break from Wednesday until Sunday. And and then to a man, it's like when you play a terrible game and you don't have either the next day or like the day after the play, and you got like that extra third day, you get anxious, you get antsy, and that can have that psychological effect as well.
Yeah, I really don't like the playoff schedules this year, so I don't understand why it's so many days between these games. It don't take that long. I mean.
Well, I mean, it's always like that. Over the last 5 or 6 years, it's been like that because they want the marquee teams playing on Sunday. There's no reason why that you have a team like Cleveland. That you have a team like Cleveland that's going to play on Tuesday, again on Thursday, and then again on Saturday, basically with 1 day rest in between games. And then you have the Warriors play on Monday, Wednesday, and then not again till Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense.
And that's the championship, the championship edge. When you're the champ,
but that's the thing. It has nothing to do with them being the champs. It has to do with the hot marketed team.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it has to do with.
Yeah, when you're the champion and you bringing in ratings, that's what's gonna happen. Now, they wasn't gonna do that for Detroit in the mid 2000s or the Spurs because that was quote unquote boring basketball. But when the Lakers got that edge, because when the Lakers had multiple days off, it worked because everybody wants to see that champ get knocked off.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a basketball purist, and I'm like, man, you play a game, rest a day, and then you play the next game, and then you get an extra day of rest if you have to travel. You play a game, have a rest day, a travel day, then you play the game the next day. At worst case, there is no way that you should have 3 days off between games.
And the thing is that we growing up while I was watching the NBA, like right now, the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals will have been over back in the days.
Right.
They would have just been starting the finals. And then another thing too is you gotta remember the first round having the best of 7 instead of being the best of 5. And Cliff, I know you remember when it was the best of 3.
Right.
And I think it's because of like I said, it's ratings because it's like we get like a lot of these games that drag out, and then we gotta make sure that every single game is televised now because at one point it was like we had regional coverage at one point.
Yeah.
Like when it was like the semifinals, or the
right. You have games that were starting simultaneously, and you could choose whether you were going to watch this game or watch this game. And another thing, I mean, if anybody that grew up watching the Bulls, Michael Jordan and those Bulls used to win titles in Game 6, and it was right there around Father's Day.
Right, on a Sunday.
I remember the one year after his father, as the year that he came back, when his dad died, they had the picture of him hugging the trophy and kissing the trophy. That was on Father's Day, the first Father's Day after his dad died.
Yep.
And now we gonna still be in Father's Day during this series, or the finals will just be starting.
I'm irritated about it because I'm finna go on vacation next week, and I was hoping the series would have a 6 game. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was going like every other day, the series will be over by the time I'm leaving. Now I gotta wait. I mean, I might see the game. I'm pissed about that, man. But
and remember last year, both Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals finished early, and they was like, okay, well, we're gonna wait a week, 5 days, and they could have started on that Sunday.
I do remember
that's
that too.
something that I'm not sure about, because I've long been a proponent of having a date where the first round starts, a date where the second round starts, conference finals and finals have a date that they start. There is no way that I should be watching Game 6 of a first round series in the Eastern Conference and then Game 1 of a second round series in the Western Conference. That makes no sense. They should definitely be starting on the same day so everybody gets the opportunity to have the same amount of rest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And back in the days, it used to be like it was a game every night, just with the different conference. Like last night it would have been the Western Conference. Tonight it's going to be Eastern Conference, and then tomorrow will be the West. And so on and so forth. And then the one day that you was like, okay, like we'll give them 2 days off, would be like, well, okay, we're going to have the game on Memorial Day.
Right.
Right. But that's just, the contracts and the ratings and the advertisers, they're king.
Hey, let's get on this mismatch in the East, man. Let's talk a little bit about that. We got a little bit about it.
So the question is, how much the Cavs are going to win by tonight?
Right.
15.
And I say at least 15.
I'm trying to figure out, at some point, does Toronto have like a pride game? Do they have a pride game where they step up and they actually win one? Or is their pride only good enough to get them close to winning one, but not actually doing it?
I got some. They'll be getting it close.
Because it's just, man, the thing with Toronto, I think Toronto is like they're a year or two away from being serious contenders. It's like, well, okay, they were the second seed, but everybody knew they weren't really gonna have a shot against Cleveland. I mean, to be honest, if it wasn't for all the injuries, they wouldn't have had a shot against Miami.
Exactly.
They did Atlanta last year, man. Same thing. Atlanta Hawks from last year. They was number one seed, but nobody thought they was no number one seed. Y'all remember? I mean, come on. Nobody knew the Cavs was coming out the East like this year. I mean, they finna 4-4-4. It looked like to me.
Yeah, they
have too much firepower in Cleveland, and it's weird because Cleveland is now able to play two different styles. Cleveland can choose to attack the basket, or they can choose to sit out and shoot the jumpers like they did in the game where they broke that record. And I don't think that Toronto can offer any resistance against that. I mean, it's not like that these are scrubs that are getting hot. These guys they have a thing that they do, and that's what they're doing. J.R. Smith has been on these last few games. LeBron has been facilitating. He's letting Kyrie do his thing.
And they got everybody on.
And this is right, and Love too. And if this is what was supposed to happen last year, I think we're going to have an excellent NBA Finals. I do. I honestly think that it will be an excellent series, and I think that it is up for grabs at this point.
I'm gonna put it like this: even if they sit out LeBron for like the rest of the series, they could still win it in 5.